For many car fans, regardless of price, Rolls-Royce is the epitome of luxury, elegance, and exquisite craftsmanship put onto an automobile. Rolls-Royce automobiles are produced by Rolls-Royce Motor Cars Limited, which is now a BMW subsidiary. The Spirit of Ecstasy logo and its current RR variant are as iconic with the luxury vehicle company as Mercedes-Benz's three-point star and Ferrari's jumping horse. But how did it all start? The company's history begins with its founders, Frederick Henry Royce, an engineer born in Alwalton, Huntingdonshire, England, and Charles Stewart Rolls, an automobile dealer and engineer born in Berkeley Square, London, England. Having been born in London, Charles Rolls attended the Mortimer Vicarage School in Berkshire before enrolling at Eton College, where he became known as Dirty Rolls for his interest in engines. The Cambridge Crammer experience helped him get into Trinity College, Cambridge, where he studied mechanical and applied science in 1895. As a cyclist, Rolls spent a lot of time at Cambridge bicycle races. He later became president of the Cambridge University Bicycle Club. Rolls finally graduated from Cambridge in 1898. However, his talents lay more in salesmanship and motoring pioneering than practical engineering. With £6,600 from his father, he opened one of Britain's earliest car shops, C.S. Rolls & Co. in Fulham in January 1903, to import and sell French Peugeot and Belgian Minerva vehicles. Henry Royce was the youngest of his 5 siblings. His family moved to London when his father's flour mill failed. After only 1 year of formal schooling, Royce had to start working selling newspapers and delivering telegrams after his father died in 1872. Through the financial assistance of an aunt, he began an apprenticeship with the Great Northern Railway Company in Peterborough in 1878. The money ran out after 3 years. A short time later, he joined the Electric Light and Power Company of London after working with a tool-making company in Leeds. In 1882, he began working at their Liverpool office for street and theatre lighting. Royce established a business called F.H. Royce & Company in Cook Street, Holme, Manchester in 1884. With the help of his friend Ernest Claremont, who contributed £50, a company that made electric fittings in the workshop. After re-registering as Royce Ltd. And offering shares to the public in 1899, another factory was opened in Trafford Park, Manchester. Royce's company, Royce Ltd., was founded in Manchester, England in 1884 and built electric cranes and dynamos. He bought his first 2-cylinder car, French de Cauville, in early 1904. Royce was displeased with its performance, despite the fact that it was not a poor model. He made the decision to make his own car by improving an existing element. He manufactured 3 cars with 2-cylinder and 10-horsepower engine in his Cook Street factory on April 1st. Henry Edmonds, a friend of Charles Stewart Rolls, who ran a London dealership for French Panhard automobiles at the time, became aware of the successful Royce autos. Rolls, however, was so taken with the Royce automobile that he set up a meeting with Royce at the Midland Hotel in Manchester in May of 1904. Royce's determination and originality quickly captivated him. Later, the two men agreed to form an automobile alliance and promised that no more Rolls-Royce vehicles would be constructed with only 2 cylinders. Both Rolls and Royce thought that by combining their own expertise and dedication with cutting-edge technology, they could create the best car conceivable. Their newly engineered 4-cylinder, 20-horsepower Royce vehicles also won numerous significant races by the end of the year. On March 15, 1906, Charles Rolls and Henry Royce created Rolls-Royce Ltd., officially formalizing their partnership. The 4050 horsepower was the company's first product, and it debuted at the Paris Motor Show in 1906 with a characteristic arched top radiator. Because of its metallic exterior and engine that was silent as a ghost, it was eventually nicknamed the Silver Ghost by Cloud Johnson, a Rolls partner. In 1907, the company relocated from Manchester to Derby, 50 miles south in the English Midlands, in order to expand. Rolls-Royce created a technical inspection service that made home visits soon after. Later, the Rolls-Royce Driving School grew out of this service. In the same year, 1907, the business began producing tiny aircraft engines under the direction of Charles Rolls. Rolls sadly died 3 years later when his right biplane crashed from a height of only 23 feet. The interlinked RR emblem on the radiator plate was changed from red to black as a mark of sadness. The Spirit of Ecstasy, or alternately the Flying Lady, a figurine mounted on the radiator of the 1911 Silver Ghost, was introduced by Royce. The winged motif was created at the request of Lord Montague, a well-known motorsport enthusiast, and intended to further improve the radiator's appearance. After its introduction in 1914, electric starting mowers grew in popularity. In 1919, the electric starter was finally installed in Silver Ghosts. Rolls-Royce continued to refine its handcrafted autos for a growing number of rich and wealthy customers. Despite the death of his colleague, Henry Royce remained dedicated to the development of new aviation engines. During World War I, Rolls-Royce produced half of the total aviation engines produced in the United Kingdom. More than 6,000 Silver Ghosts had been produced when it was discontinued in 1925. It was followed by the Phantom, a newer, uncharacteristically light model. Later versions of the Phantom were also released with upgraded engines, including one with a 12-cylinder engine. In 1931, Rolls-Royce purchased Bentley Motor Ltd., an undervalued English high-performance automotive company. After a prolonged illness, Henry Royce also died on April 22, 1933. During World War II, Rolls-Royce stopped producing automobiles and instead focused its efforts on producing aircraft engines. Over 150,000 Merlin engines had been constructed in the United Kingdom and under license in the United States by the time the war ended in the spring of 1945. After the war, auto manufacturing restarted at a new Rolls-Royce factory in Crewe near Derby. Instead of producing each car to a customer's specifications, the firm decided to standardize the product range. A separate diesel engine division was also formed, which produced huge engines primarily for construction equipment. Rolls-Royce was the first business to introduce a turboprop engine, which attracted the corporation's attention in commercial aviation for the first time. The aviation engine division contributed over 80% of Rolls-Royce's overall revenues for the majority of the company's history. The first RB211 engine started construction in the summer of 1969. However, once the engine was tested, it was clear that various design problems would cause the project to be significantly delayed. On November 11, 1970, the British government announced that it would extend a £60 million loan to Rolls-Royce. Furthermore, it also announced that executive control of Rolls-Royce would be transferred to a 4-person committee. The government stated 2 days later in the House of Commons that it would monopolize Rolls-Royce. Unhappy with the situation, the British government decided to prepare the automotive and diesel businesses for privatization. As a result, in 1973, Rolls-Royce Motors Ltd. was formed as a separate corporation, with the automotive and diesel engine activities being returned to private owners. The government kept control of the aircraft engine division, despite the fact that it was losing money. Following the nationalization, David Plastow, who was put in control of the vehicle operation, began a modernization program for Rolls-Royce Motors, which included a £20 million investment in new plants and equipment. The annual output of the company climbed from 2,000 to 3,500 automobiles. Vickers plc, a famous British engineering corporation with a long history as a defense contractor and with which Rolls-Royce had regularly collaborated, purchased 90% of Rolls-Royce's equity in September 1980. Plastow was named the new chief executive officer of Vickers after Rolls-Royce Motors Ltd. Became a subordinate of the parent business. With the Silver Spirit and Silver Spur, Rolls-Royce ushered in the lavishness of the 1980s by creating massive, squared-off ultra-luxury vehicles. 1998 saw the unveiling of the new Silver Seraph, a V12-powered coupe. Rolls-Royce celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2004, and the Silver Ghost, its most famous model, celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2007. Following its termination from Bentley, the company introduced a brand new Phantom in 2003, which could be purchased as a coupe, sedan, or convertible. Phantom Silver, a limited edition commemorating the company's uninterrupted 100-year history, was also released in 2004. Richard W. Perry, the current CEO of Rolls-Royce, is said to be planning to put a greater emphasis on the company's brand. Perry believes in successful marketing and believes that with more innovative techniques, he can improve Rolls-Royce automobile sales in the coming years. Based on his vision, Rolls-Royce also announced in 2021 the release of its first all-electric vehicle, Spectre, which is expected by the fourth quarter of 2023. By the time it was revealed, the electric vehicle would have already completed over 25 LAKH kilometers of on-road testing. In addition to being luxurious, Rolls-Royce cars are high-tech. Rolls-Royce car designers continually innovate to produce the best vehicles possible. A reputation built over decades led to the company being known for its high-performance cars. We believe that Rolls-Royce's heritage and history are one of the most important aspects of why the company is so unique and special. The company's co-founders did not come from wealthy families or receive an elite education, but worked hard and applied their engineering talents to design one of the most well-known automobiles. So, that was the story of Rolls-Royce. Now it's time to bring some interesting facts about the company. The European Union is known to have prohibited the illuminated Spirit of Ecstasy because it causes too much light pollution, according to the official justification. At least 65% of all Rolls-Royce automobiles ever produced are still in use and on the road today. During World War II, Rolls-Royce produced a machine gun with a caliber of .50 caliber. The Royal Armouries Museum in Leeds, England also has a sample of this gun. The world's fastest electric vehicle, a Rolls-Royce electric jet, just attained a high speed of 387 miles per hour in testing. Princess Elizabeth was the first to acquire a Phantom 4, which went on to become a limited edition model reserved for royalty and other leaders of the state. Only 18 Phantom 4 models were made, making it a one-of-a-kind model. You have the option of enrolling your chauffeur in a Rolls-Royce driving school. The course teaches drivers how to open and close doors without leaving fingerprints, brake without disturbing passengers' heads, and read and drive a road for maximum smoothness. The leather interiors of Rolls-Royce are made entirely of bull skin. These bulls are only imported from Europe, where higher elevations imply fewer mosquitoes and other insects, resulting in fewer bite marks. For the past 17 years, just one man has been painting the pinstripes on all Rolls-Royce cars, and that man is Mark Court. It's his only job, and it pays him a six-figure wage, according to reports. The Rolls-Royce insignia is always entirely upright on the wheels, thanks to a sophisticated gyroscopic device that prevents the central cap from turning. Phantom is available in over 44,000 shades, and each vehicle takes at least 2 months to create. And Bhagwan Rajneesh has the world's largest collection of Rolls-Royce. In the 1970s, he was the leader of a spiritual movement known as Rajneesh, and he owned nearly 93 Rolls-Royces. Since 1904, the corporation has had a long and illustrious history. Starting out as a car manufacturer, was driven into the defense business during World War II to make aero engines, and then faced financial catastrophe in the 1970s, resulting in a government takeover, multiple mergers, demergers, and takeovers, and a lot of ups and downs. Their journey is thrilling in every way. Thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of these eye-opening real-life experiences. See you soon.